Council, animal law not needed. City Council doesn't need to amend its animal ordinance to deal with recent problems caused by roosters, chickens and rabbits because the nuisance component in the current ordinance, coupled with the state's humane laws, are sufficient to handle those problems, members decided Monday. A potential new ordinance would have specified the kinds of animals causing issues while adding specific remedial regulations, but it would have been unnecessarily restrictive, according to Councilmen Dave Butterbaugh and Joe Carper. To stay up to date with latest top stories, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking the button above this video. Moreover, it wouldn't have corrected the major cause of animal enforcement difficulties anyway, the frequent unwillingness of complainants to let their names be used and to testify in court due to avoid antagonizing neighbors, officials said. In about 90% of cases, the owners of animals that are the subject of complaints comply with his suggestions to solve the problems, said Animal Control Officer Mike Daversa. The idea at first is always to get compliance, said Police Chief Joe Merrill. An owner of roosters got rid of the roosters, Daversa said. Conversely, the owner of chickens that regularly wander onto neighboring property in Juniata has not kept those chickens on their own property, he said. Similarly, the owner of indoor rabbits kept outdoors near the street in the heat has transgressed after an intervention, he said. The proposed ordinance included specific requirements for square footage of coops and of the yards in which they're situated, varying according to the number of fowls, along with specific requirements for the distance the coops must be from lot lines. That is way too complicated, Butterbaugh said. It's also unnecessary because the existing nuisance provision would apply nicely to chickens that roam onto neighboring property and to roosters annoying the neighbors, according to council members. For animals not cared for properly, like the rabbits, the Central Pennsylvania Humane Society police can be summoned, Merrill said. There were concerns that the current ordinance doesn't provide enough enforcement leverage, but Solicitor Tom Finn put that to rest by explaining that it calls for a fine of $100 for the first offense and $500 for subsequent offenses. The animal ordinance issue surfaced last year, and at the time, due to staff turnover, no one could find a copy of the existing one. Now that it has been found, it seems to be adequate, Butterbaugh said. A council member asked Daversa if he was okay with the status quo. "I'm cool with that," he said.